Hello and welcome to episode 10 of the Apocalyptic Knitter podcast. I am your host Naomi and I come to you from a very crisp Leeds in West Yorkshire in United Kingdom, where I live with my husband, my young son and our cat. How have you been? How's your January treating you so far? I probably feel like I'm in the minority, but it feels like it's going quite quick so far for me. It's back to work with there was no easing in, shall we say. It was just crazy busy from the word go, but hey ho. Had a good break. Even though I was poorly for a few days, it kind of enforced me to rest and knit, so there we go. I've just come in from a walk. I've been trying to increase my step count average for the year because last year was quite low for me and what I know I'm capable of. It was like an average of 3,000 a day, which I personally need to do better. So don't want to go too much into it, but I've got a big health thing coming up this year. So I really want to improve my fitness and help myself kind of thing. So yeah, I would like to finish the year with my daily step count average being 5,000. I mean, I'd love to do 10,000, but 10,000 is more achievable for me in the summer months when it's a nice sunny day, but 10,000 is a lot. It's a lot of walking time, and I know I struggle in the winter and there's different things. So I thought if I just say 5,000, then it's still a good improvement. It's achievable. I didn't want to kind of fall on my arse and not achieve it the first month, and then you do the whole putting yourself down thing, and I thought nobody really needs that in January. So my daily average at the moment is 4,948. So I think what it is I need to improve it in the week, through the week, and not play catch up at the weekend kind of thing. So I think my daily average midweek is about 3. So I thought, even if I just nip round the block on my lunch break, it's something, isn't it? So that's my goal. I'm trying to keep it simple and achievable and all that. What else can I say? But yeah, I know there's lots and lots of, everywhere I seem to go at the moment, everybody's poorly. There's a lot of ailments doing the rounds, so please look after yourself, be careful, and yeah, if you're not well, try stay home if you can. But there we go. I've been quite a busy little bee. I've cast on quite a few different things, and yeah, I'll go through that. I've got a finished object to show you first, which are these. These are the side hustle cuffs. I want to say side hustle mitts, but they're not mittens. They are, so your fingers are all free. It's just like a cuff. Now, Rachel at This Knit Your Life kind of shouted out this pattern, and I didn't jot down who the designer was. I'll just have to put them in my notes afterwards. So, do like a Vogue pose. It also goes with my nails. I got my nails done as a little birthday treat because it was my birthday last week. So I feel like I'm all coordinated. Digressing, not me, I know. Our office building, the heating was broken for a few days last week and it was cold. I was sat there, I had my knitted jumpers on, my shawl, and at one point I was wearing my coat, which was ridiculous. I just could not keep warm at all. And it was my hands, because I do a lot of typing and I couldn't, my fingers were just going numb and I couldn't physically work as fast as I wanted to because I couldn't move my fingers. So I thought I'm gonna keep these, and they're a really speedy knit. It's a paid for pattern, so I don't want to spill the beans too much, but really quick. It's nothing too technical. You can use DK or, which is what I did, I held some 4-ply double, and it's good old garter stitch, and then you get to the certain point, change your colour, and there's some short rows in there, and yeah, that is how the pattern wears it. And yes, I agree with you, Rachel. I thought it was where the thumb goes, so I'm a little bit torn on that and how to wear it, but I think if you wear it at the back of your hand, it shows off the detail more, so there we go. I think it was 4-ply held double, and I think I used about 50 to 60 grams of the deep magenta, and it's a BFL one that I had in stash. Trying to think of the name of the day. It was somebody who, I went to a wool show last year and they were closing down, which isn't really helpful. But I'm sure they said it was like a Peruvian BFL base. If it comes to me, I'll let you know. And then for the contrast, I held I had some remnants of a hot pink, and I had some remnants of Hummingbird Yarns Eton Mess, which is white with teeny little bits of flecks, so you can see little bits of purple in there. So I just thought to give it a bit of a pop. And those are for me. I can't remember if I showed you the hat last time, the pink and purple baby hat. I finished it and I dropped it off yesterday. It's for somebody at work. His wife's not long had a baby and they don't live that far from me, and he's currently at home at the moment to just kind of help and support her. So I thought I'll just drop it round because I'm not always in the office, the same office as night ships in the night, so I'll drop it round. And I got to see the baby, it's so cute. You forget how tiny they are, really, really tiny. They grow so bloody fast. My mug. I like big balls and I cannot lie, apparently. So there we go. This was a gift from somebody. There we go. I like the. I've got 3 of these cups, and I don't know if it's the material of it. It just feels like it keeps my tea warmer. Someone else have these and find that it just seems to retain the heat a bit more. I think I mentioned at the last podcast that I wanted this year or this month to be like a self-indulgent month, and all about knitting for me and knitting the blankets in particular. I wanted to give those a push. Oh my god, I've dropped the stitches. Oh my god. Talk amongst yourselves for a moment. There we go. So I have done that to a degree. I have picked this one up. So this was last year's advent calendar, which when I put it down, when I last put it down, I was up to this corally mix one, and I've put in another 2 bowls worth, 2 minis worth, and I've just started a third one, so I've given it a little bit of love. I did mention this last time because I'd lost that mini somewhere in the living room, and I found it. It had rolled underneath the sideboard, so I found it. There we go. So once I've done those 2, that's one of these 4 quadrants made up. This is the Quadrophenia blanket by Bakery Bears, and I think it's really nice. I've not followed the pattern that is stated. So I think the pattern states to knit to the nearest row that your yarn will take you for playing yarn chicken, and I just used it until it finished because my colours are similar and I don't want little mini bits left over. I just knit till it ran out and join the next one. And then Bryony does like a bit of an eyelet pattern on the row that you next change your colour, and I decided I didn't want to do that because I just wanted some nice easy knitting, which her patterns, it does look really nice. I was just quite frankly being a bit lazy. So yeah, so this is the pinks one, and I think I mentioned last time, she knows, I've got colours set aside for this pink one, I've got a purple one, I've got some palely, pastely, speckly ones, and then I've got ones that are all pale blues. So I kind of wanted to do 4 different quadrants of colour, and then I wanted to see how big it turns out, and once I've seamed it together, I wanted to see what it looks like. If it feels like it needs a border, I might pick out a skein, like a full skein, and just pick up and do like a border trim. I'm gonna see how it feels. So there's that one, and what I'm hoping is that because they're done in 4 pieces, they're quite transportable, so I could technically keep it for some commute knitting. There's an idea. I'll take that one later. In this bag, I was gonna say, this project bag is my Wonder Woman bag, which my lovely friend Natalie made me one birthday, which is lovely. This one, love the fabric. It was made by myself when I had a bit of go of sewing, and I did it with a zip and everything. Quite pleased with it actually. So this one, this is the yarn. Where is it? One of the West Yorkshire spinners. It's a relatively new colourway called Starling. So they've got like a range of all the birds, haven't they? All the chaffinches and all that kind of thing. There's a wood pigeon is the nice soft purple one that I've made a couple of pairs of socks out of. So this one is called Starling, and these are for my very knit-worthy brother who loves my socks. So that is how it knits up. So he's a very man's man, likes men's colours, whatever they are. So I thought it goes purple, speckles, dark blue, speckles, a darker blue, and then like a green. So I quite like that. I'm swaying from my usual. I usually do toe up, fish lips kiss heel, and then finish off at the cuff. But I'm doing a heel flap and gusset on this one. Mentioned before, I'm doing 1 by 1 twisted rib, and I'm up to the bit now where, oh, I've actually started doing the slip one, knit one, slip one, knit one section. I really love the colours on this. It's niggling me a little bit because it's inking, as I call it, on the fingers. I think one of the colours is running, and I know for a fact that my brother washes his socks in the washing machine on a wool wash, so I'm gonna give this a real good soak beforehand and see if I can see how bad it is. If I can seal it in some way, put a bit of citric acid in it or something. Is it vinegar? I think I'll give it a Google later. I don't know if it's the type of needles that I'm using on these, so I'm using, these are the wooden ones, the Leica ones, and I love them usually, but for some reason on this wool it's really catching and really splicing, and it's not, and it might be the wool, I don't know. So I don't know if I need to switch onto like some more chromy or higher ones with stainless steel. Is it stainless steel? I don't know. Just so they kind of glide a bit better. But other than that, they're knitting up slowly than I thought. And as I say, I don't know if it's because, you know, when you go to knit and you knit without looking and but yeah, it just seems to keep catching. So we shall see. These were my train knitting until I got to the office and my hands were freezing, and I literally decided to stop what I was doing immediately and cast on those cuffs. So I've actually got 3 pairs of socks on the go at the minute. I normally only have 1 or 2, but I'm being greedy. So there's those, and then I'm doing some socks for me, and I finished this one. There's an awful lot of pinks and purples in this one. I must just be in that mood. Look at that. So this is from Attic Spin Dye, and it was a skein of wool that I fell in love with because it was like twisted round, and it was half jet black and half neon pink, and I had those like cartoon love eyes just flashing out. I've not done a heel flap and gusset heel for quite a long time, so I thought I'm going to practice on myself, and then if I stuff it up it don't matter. And yeah, it fits so well. You forget that. I'm going to try it on to show you, as they do. It's just, there's no bunching anywhere. I'm just really pleased with it. Really pleased with the fit. And in true Naomi style, did I jot down the notes as I went along as to what I did? No, I did not. Why do I do this to myself every single time? So I'll have to eyeball it and then count some rows and then try and get it as much as I can. But no, I'm really happy with those. These sit, oh, what needle size? I think these are 2.5. These are just some old fixed circulars, some Knit Pro. Is it Knit Pro ones? Yeah. And that is in my little panda bag. Little grey girl panda bag. I've had this for quite a long time. I'm not I do enjoy project bags, but I don't seem to lust over getting new ones all the time, kind of thing. If I'm at a show, I'm like, oh, I can buy a bag or I can buy some yarn, and then I end up just going for the yarn unless I see some fabric that I really, really like. But the majority of the bags that I have are from Little Grey Girl. I just think that they're a great size, and I like the zip. Sorry, I don't know, it's just this nice material. I know, it's funny what you stick with, isn't it? What is in here? I'll do that one at the end. This is something I believe I casted on last night. Oh, hang on. Well, it was in that bag, but then we ended up walking to the pub for lunch, and I put it in a smaller bag so I could stick it in my handbag. This is my pencil one. Same again, I'm not sponsored. Little Grey Girl bag. And these are for a friend at work, and as I always do, I always end up kind of offering to make people socks out of like half a joke or half a threat. I'll make you a pair of socks one day, will you? And so I gave them a load of colours to choose from, and he's chosen the blue, which is quite a nice variegated blue. And he said, do you have any rainbow coloured wool? And I was like, you bet. So the rainbow colour are from Cuddle Bums. Yeah, I'm not making it up, that's what they're called. Cuddle Bums. And I've got, those friends that know me, I've had this jar of Cuddle Bums Rainbow Minis sat on that shelf for years. I believe I got them at it might have been a Woolfest, it's either a Woolfest or a Yarndale, and we're talking at least 5, maybe even up to 7 years ago. And they are 5-gram minis. Right, now, so again, pink. All this pink, where's this pink coming from? I'm in a bit of a quandary because they don't all match. That one's, or this one's a bit of a deeper pink than that one. And then some of those are like a slight lilac-y purple. And that one's a bit of a deeper purple. Now, I was doing the sums. Usually, if I'm doing a pair of socks and you get a contrast skein, the contrast mini skein is 20 grams, right? And I don't usually use the full 20 grams. I probably use about 15. And that 15 grams does me the toes, the heels and the cuffs. So then I'm thinking, they're 3 items, aren't they? Toe, heel, cuff. What I wanted to do was do the heel, do the toe in one of them, and then use the other pink one to do both of the heels. Now I'll find out how I am with this, because this is like, I'm hoping that was 2.5 and this is 2.5. The digital, I can't say that word, digital scales that I've got aren't quite that minute, if you know what I mean. They don't go down to that kind of fraction level of grammage. So we'll just have to see how it goes. But I think that's really fun. So I'll net that in the pub at lunchtime. And this lovely skein of wool with some leftovers, and I'm trying to think of the dye, because I had about 3 balls of wool very, very similar, and I want to say it's Sun Ugly Stars, and it's something like Ice Queen, and that's really nice. And it's all different tones of blue and splodges of almost black and some speckles. So there we go. So I'm gonna do a Fish Lips Kiss heel for that one, and as I say, I'm gonna see how this pink one goes. And hopefully, even if it's like most of the other toe, I could probably get away with just doing a row or 2 of the other pink rainbow mini, and then do the purple ones for the heels. So we'll see. Yeah, on the fence with Yarn Chicken on that one. So I'm gonna put that back in this bag. It's just a smaller bag. And then I'll show you my other cast on that I cast on this morning. You go in there. Now, I don't know if this recipient watches my podcast or not, and apologies if they do, but she asked a while ago if I would make her a scarf, and I love my friend absolutely dearly. She's one of my closest friends that I've known for 25 years. I find scarves a bit boring to do. But I thought, if I'm going to keep my interest up on this one, I've got to get some nice yarn that I enjoy knitting with and an interesting pattern. And I thought, do you know what? I'm not going to sit and concentrate on it every single night, because that just won't happen. But every so often, if I do a nice stint of it, keep it going. And I did that this morning. So the pattern, I believe, I'm useless at jotting stuff down, I really am. I want to say it's Purl Soho pattern. And it's in Aran weight yarn. It's called, that's what the pattern's called, it's called the No-purl scarf. No-purl rib scarf. And it's basically, it's almost like I wanted like a fisherman's rib kind of thing, and I thought that was just perfect. So this is the wool that I bought over Christmas time. Me and Sammy went to Black Sheep Wools, and I got some I was gonna say sheepshears, and it's not. And I was watching the Happy Knitting podcast, and she pronounced it, and I was all like, oh, that's very different to what I was pronouncing it. And I've forgotten how she pronounced it. Oh, I was holding it upside down. That doesn't help, does it? It's gone. It's gone. I'll say sheepshears at the minute. It's not sheepshears. Yeah. It's called anti-monkey. It's not. It's anti-pilling. It's called Chunky Monkey, which made me think, is it chunky weight yarn? But no, it is Aran. There's the most tiniest little circle there, but you can't focus on it. And it says Aran. 100-gram ball gets you 116 meters. I got 4 of these balls. As of yet, I don't know if that is enough or too much. I'll just have to see how far one ball takes me. And it's already looking, this pattern looks like it's a chomper. It's going to chomp through the wool. It's really nice and soft. It's an acrylic, it's nice and soft and dense feeling, but it's not too squeaky, as I like to call it. So yeah, so I've casted that on. And that is all my whips that I'm currently working on at the moment. So what's that? 3 pairs of socks, a scarf and a blanket. That's not bad, is it? That's not bad. And I do like a little bit of variety. So yeah, I've got plans to cast on a love note from a friend, but I'm not doing that just yet. So I want to get these a few bits and pieces. And those few bits and pieces that I'm making were on that original list that I had of knitting to do. Do you remember I said I didn't quite get through them all? I'm quite enjoying it really. There's lots of different colour requests, and as I say, I'm happily using yarn from Stash, so that's always good. I did buy myself a birthday present, which is what I do, and I bought it a few weeks before Christmas, and it came up on Instagram. And I've been wanting to buy from this dyer for a little while. And you know, when you see a scale and you're like, take my money. It was one of those. So this is from A Happy Crow, who are a new to me dyer, and I met them at Yarndale in Skipton in last September. And look, doesn't that just scream Naomi? I am 100% certain that'll also come out in a micro stripe, and it's really, really pretty. This is, I say, like a really dark but not too charcoaly smoky grey with pinks that go through to purple, just really nice, and it's called Bright Pink Night Sky. So thank you very much, Pod. And when I mentioned it was from a birthday treat to myself, they'd sent through a little handmade postcard saying happy birthday, which was really, really sweet. So thank you ever so much for that. I saw the note and I was so good because it was wrapped up in tissue paper, and I put it under my Christmas tree, so I did not open it until my birthday, which was first week in January. So I was very restrained from that. And that is highly likely to be it for acquisitions until April. I've got plans to go to Edinburgh. There's like a bit of a Kickstarter show coming up. Do you know what? I should have done more preparation and got all these names down. It's called Woolly Good. Yeah. So I'm really saving up hard for some spending pennies. And so I've got lots of budgeting that I'm doing at the moment. So yeah. Talking of budgeting, what have I been up to? I had some really good money wins. I say money wins, I didn't win money, obviously. But I always kind of struggle and have this internal struggle when it's my birthday, because it's just after Christmas and after New Year, and then we've got, as I say, the New Year, and everyone's all like, right, okay, back to the grind now, that's it. I kind of feel almost like guilty for spending money on myself because we've just come past this Christmas expense. But then I always kind of get deflated afterwards, thinking, well, if it was somebody else's birthday in the summer, then what's the difference? Because it's still just a 1 year event. So I wanted to do a few little bits and pieces, but without breaking the bank, which is what we did. The three of us went to play mini golf at Junkyard Golf in Leeds, and you book it online. If you've not been, it's a really nice fun activity. It's almost like you're taking your child to a nightclub. It's a bit random. And you book it online, and it's about £11 each for a round. And if you book it online, there's an opportunity to book a second round there and then for an extra £5 or £6 each. And I was a bit like, oh, I can't really justify spending up to 50-60 quid. You know, I thought we'll book one round, you know, and it'll be nice. And we were also going to the cinema. I'll come back to the cinema in a minute. And we'd finished the round, and the person, the worker who was there, said, oh, if you fill out a customer survey on your experience here, you get to play another round for free today. So I was like, yes. So we just went over to a table, filled out this online questionnaire, and got another game for free, which was really good because we're almost on the cusp of doing it anyway. So we did that. For the cinema, if you're with O2, which I am, there is your O2 priorities is like 2 for £9. So we went and we saw Aquaman 2. That's one of Mummy's favourites with Jason Momoa. Sorry, not sorry. So yeah, we did that, and yeah, it was just really nice. And then I invited to go to a gathering with some friends on my actual birthday, which felt quite nicely. But I was like, I promise I'm not going to make it about me. But no, it was nice. It was really nice. And then what else have we been doing? I've been doing a bit of a declutter. So there's a lady on Instagram called Organize, and she's like a bit of a declutterizing, organising kind of, I don't know if influencer is the right word. I'm not usually huge on influencers. They sometimes make me a bit, but she's actually really quite good, and her advice is quite helpful. And she's got a thing for January where it's to declutter or to remove 100 items from your house. You're thinking 100 items, but she said just start with one room. So I had a look around the bathroom. I tend to be torn between wasting money and throwing good stuff out, but then also get overwhelmed if I've got too much stuff. That's not always the case with wool. Just put that in there. So for instance, toiletries. So you might have toiletries that you buy for yourself that you know that you'll use, and you also might get toiletries that are given to you as gifts, and sometimes they're great and you'll use them. Sometimes you want to use them because they're a gift to you, but you might not have, that might not agree with your skin type, and so you just kind of keep hold of them because you feel like you can't pass them on, gift them on, throw them away because it's been a gift. So we had a few cases like that where there were literally a thick load of dust on them because they're not been used or whatever. Namely on Craig's side, he had all these little bottles of Lynx. So my teenage son, he uses Lynx, but not that scent, which I know, don't get me started. And I thought, do you know what? They've literally been in our bathroom for probably about 5 years. So I thought they went. I picked out some items items of clothing that didn't fit me anymore. Some I sold on Vinted, some I gifted to charity, and then this afternoon I went through my kitchen cupboards and got rid of, there's about half a dozen mugs that were broken, and I don't even mean a chip. There was a mug there and the handle had come off. Craig, my husband, had put the handle inside the cup to keep just in case. So I was like, right, they can go. Because he kindly gifted me for our wedding anniversary. It was 15 years and it was crystal, and he got me a really beautiful set of flute glasses, which was really, really nice. But then we didn't have room for them in the cupboard because we've got all these like mugs that are broken and don't use. So I thought, so took some of those out. There was some other wine glasses that were all like not matching or little and large. You're probably the same as me. I kind of got rid of the novelty ones, you know, the ones with like a giant glass. And ones that I knew that I would use, I've kept. What else have I got rid of? A coffee percolator, because I don't have caffeine anymore. I think that was about it, really. So I've got somebody who's collecting the wine glasses and the coffee percolator. I think it's called a percolator, that thing where you plunge it down. Is that a percolator? I'm not very good with words at the moment, it's really funny. So yeah, so there's that, and yeah, just bits and pieces at a time. I've got a jar, I can't see it from there, or a tin rather, which I got for my son as a bit of a stocking filler, and it's about yay big, and it was filled with chocolate coins and stuff. But in the lid at the top there was a money slot, and I thought, a money box, brill. So I got myself, because I'm really big into my cash budgeting, so I got like a sticker, and it's like a bit of a game of bingo, all different small denominations of money from £1, £2, £5, £10, and when you fill out all the things on the sticker, you've saved £100. So I've got that. I have also, I've downloaded this app called Sprive. I heard a few reviews on it, and it's like an overpayment. You're like on your mortgage, an overpayment app. I'm not in a position to like overpay serious amounts of money. Is anyone? But they let you overpay from like really small amounts of money, for like even if it's like £5 or £25, and you're in control, so you can put your minimum and your maximum that you want to overpay, and then they kind of they monitor your spending, and if you're having an extra spending month, if you've got like all these other bills that you hadn't quite accounted for, it recognises that, and so it'll kind of go towards the minimum side that you've set aside. So it's really quite useful, and it gives you like what I call a bit of a get out of jail free. So if you've set aside, as say, I don't know, £25, but something's happened. As I say, your pet's had a unexpected vet bill at the 11th hour. Shit's hit the fan. You're thinking, oh God, I didn't want that money to go out. You can withdraw it for that month and kind of bring it back into your account. So you feel, well, I feel quite in control of it. And then it gives you a forecast. So you think, I get a lot of people thinking, oh, what, £5 a month, that's not going to make any difference. But over the lifespan of your mortgage, I think it said, even if I pay £25 off a month, it reduces the mortgage term by 5 months and saves like over £1,000 in interest, which is like crazy, isn't it? Absolutely crazy. And I find it really, I love things like that. I'm quite visual, and I like these little targets and knowing that little things that you're doing, that they're all adding up. So yeah, I've joined that. I probably, once this year's out the way, will probably use it more next year. But I just kind of wanted to kind of trial it, see how it works, see how I found it. And I think that's it. I've also been using my Top Cashback app as well. I use that for when I do my food shopping or any little online bits and pieces. So lots of all these little side hustles. And that money, when it comes in, I'm just using that to kind of chip away at any bills that I've got. And yeah, as I say, all these little 50p's here and there, they all add up. So there we go. And I think that's about it for me. Oh, one last little thing. Every time I've knitted a hat for myself, I've never quite got the right size. Like, it always kind of I've just done it a little bit too small. And then I was gifted this hat by my mother-in-law, and it's lovely. It fits me really nicely, goes over my ears. But I've noticed, and if anyone else wears glasses, do you notice this? I don't know if my glasses kind of shift it up. So it's made me think, what's that bit of hair doing there? I'm wondering about designing my own hat where it goes over the brim there, and then I want to do it so it kind of slopes down and covers your ears, so your glasses don't nudge it up. Anyway, that was just a finishing thought for you all. So anyway, I've got that to kind of go off because that's the right depth for my head. So it's really nice. And I've certainly needed it this last week. It's gone quite cold. Anyway, that is it for me. I hope you're all well and safe and happy and fighting these January blues. I know January's a bit kind of thing, but as I say, just remember each day the nights are just getting a teeny bit longer. Anyway, I'm hearing someone coming down the stairs. Huh? I'm recording. Right, there we go. I shall speak to you all soon. Bye for now.